Hi. The topic of this article is Classification Essay Writing, an A to Z Guide. Published on the www.writeanessaytoday.us website, the best-in-class essay writing service for college and university students. So, let's move on to maintenance. What is a classification essay? The first step towards writing a good classification essay is understanding what it is all about. A classification essay definition implies the following: it is an academic writing that groups objects, data, and information with similar characteristics into specified classes. This kind of essay involves grouping data into different classes based on certain characteristics. The main objectives of this type of essay are to categorize data, ensure that a distinct method of organization is applied, and present examples in each group. Classification essays can be either subjective or objective. When classifying data based on measurable characteristics, such an essay is objective, but when classifying information based on abstract categories, this essay is subjective. The latter type is often used in advertising, business reviews, and editorials, while school teachers mostly give out topics for objective classification essay writing. Classification essays usually involve a lot of research because of their comparative nature. To appropriately group objects into classes, you have to get as much information about them as you can. Even though this type of essay is common, many students still have a hard time writing it. Classification essay outline. To present a coherent classification essay, the outline must be just right. This is when a lot of students start to make mistakes and end up with essays that are of below average quality. The widely recommended structure for outlining a classification essay is known as the 5-paragraph structure. It breaks down your essay into smaller blocks. The goal is to have every block address a certain issue. This approach makes the writing process easier because you can build up from there by adding sentences. The 5-paragraph structure is the following: introduction and thesis, body paragraphs, conclusion, introduction and thesis. An introduction is one of the most important paragraphs in the entire essay. At this point, you are expected to open the reader's eyes and let them see the discussion at hand, as well as the subject you will be categorizing. It is important to maintain clarity in this essay part as it will determine if your reader understands the subject and is carried along until the end. Apart from these points, the introduction of your essay is where you draw the reader in. Use simple and direct language to let them know what the essay is all about. Be informative in this section because the goal is for them to want to know how the objects you have classified stack up against one another. An introduction also serves as an explanation of the reason for having written your essay. Be open about why the classification was present in your essay and draw on the criteria you use for it. Using this approach will help you shed some light on your discussion and make it relatable to readers. After crafting the introductory paragraph, you should end the paragraph with a thesis. The main idea wrapped in one sentence briefly summarizes the goals your classification essay is set to achieve and lists the categories that will be used in your assignment. Thesis statements should be simple and argumentative. Body paragraphs. An essay body can be expanded into 3 or more paragraphs. This is because during classification essay writing, you will be dealing with different categories, and each category is to be covered by a different body paragraph. Each paragraph starts with a topic sentence describing the category to be discussed. The ideal way to organize your body paragraphs is to first shed light on the subject based on comparison/measurement for each category. Then, discuss each category characteristics and talk about strengths and weaknesses. Finally, you will need to cite examples that act as proof for statements made within your classification essay. Note that you should spread examples across each category evenly. This ensures that the body of your essay is not lopsided, with some paragraphs carrying more information than others. If your paragraphs are not evenly matched, it may give readers the impression that you do not have enough evidence in some categories to back up your statements. If you notice that you have long paragraphs, break them into shorter ones to make your paper easily readable. Your body paragraphs should be structured like this. Body paragraph 1. Explain the criteria used to group your first category. Outline the category characteristics. Cite examples. Body paragraph 2. Explain the criteria used to group your second category. Outline the category characteristics. Cite examples. Body paragraph 3. Explain the criteria used to group your third category. Outline the category characteristics. Cite examples. This basic structure should serve as a strong guide for when you are writing your classification essay body. Conclusion. The last part of your essay is the conclusion. In it, you should touch on the subject matter in each category. The idea behind this paragraph is to summarize the categories discussed in your essay and add recommendations. Note that you should state your reasons for making any recommendations in this paragraph. Your argument should also be grounded on facts already outlined in the body of your work. This approach will help users come to an informed conclusion on the subject matter. How to choose a topic for a classification essay. When picking a topic for classification essay, go for subjects that interest you. When writing about things you resonate with, readers can easily get infected by the passion that you put into your writing. While brainstorming, look into broad topics as they let you think of many ways to streamline that topic into one that you can use. When you have a broad topic, come up with a list where you write down anything that comes to mind concerning that topic. Do not worry about fine-tuning these topics as there will be time for that later. Just write. If you prefer a visual approach, try writing down a broad topic in the center of a page and using lines to attach finer concepts to it. This method is called mind mapping. Transition words for classification essay. When writing classification essays or any paper that includes categorization, transition words are great for helping readers follow your categories. These words act as bridges that link two long sentences. They may also come in handy whenever you need to introduce an idea or result. Transition words can be grouped into the following categories. Additive transitions. These transition words and phrases introduce an idea or point. They let the reader return to a previous idea to understand the connection with a new one. Such linking phrases as indeed, let alone, moreover, and for instance are only a few examples of transition words. Casual transitions. These are words that link sentences and show causes, results, and effects. They help smoothen the transition from one sentence to another. Phrases like for the purpose of, even if, and inasmuch as are examples of casual transitions. Adversative transitions. These are used to emphasize, concede, make contrary suggestions/arguments, or replace other ideas. They help make a paragraph with contradictory points coherent. Words like once, yet, at least, in any case are some adversative transitions. Sequential transitions. These words link sentences by showing a chronological sequence of things. They can also be used to summarize previous events. First of all, secondly, in summary, are some sequential transition words. Classification essay writing tips. Having understood what classification essays are and how to write them, a few more tips can come in handy for you. Some of them are: always use illustrative examples when you can. Readers are more likely to relate to your examples if they typically represent the class under which they are listed. Use enough examples to support every group and spread your examples evenly. Carefully choose categories for the objects or data you are grouping. Some categories are obvious and users will want to see them, so don't forget to include them. At the same time, do not pack your essay with too many categories. Do not leave any stone unturned in your research. Classification essays require you to know enough about the objects being categorized to properly group them. Readers love to read facts that are supported by evidence. Plan your writing from start to finish. Having to rush this process because of a tight deadline is a surefire way of writing substandard work. A plan that leaves you enough time to research and present your ideas will enhance your essay quality. Create your categories using a common principle. Ensure that your categories all follow the same principle of classification, as it will keep your groups related. Proofread your essay several times before submission. This may require showing it to your friends, lecturers, or senior colleagues for their input and correction. Such a move not only ensures that your work is original and free of errors, but you may also get new ideas after proofreading your paper. Alternatively, you can double-check it online using special tools like Grammarly. End of article. You always can get essay writing help with essayusa.com.